How do we understand each other? A sociolinguistic approach. So, to introduce this, I would like to say that it will link very closely to the language and identities presentation that you may have already watched. This is more of a broad overview of topics that language and identities fits into. Language and identities is a sociolinguistic topic. Sociolinguistics, it looks at the social aspects of language in use rather than the scientific study of language. By studying this language, reasons as to why it's used in specific ways can be analysed to gain understanding of situations. The study of interactions is unique and many social elements can influence the outcome. So language in society is used in different ways to try and ensure the language is appropriate for the situation. Communities of practice is a term that refers to groups of people who interact together and have an overlying similarity, and that kind of ties them together to be in this social group. And within this social group there's often a language that is unique to the specific community of practice, and it would have a higher frequency to the use of the members in the community than people in the outgroup. This table shows a couple of communities of practice and the language that they may be really used to that other people wouldn't. So for example, footballers would often use and understand the words lateral pass and line maker. Ballerinas, who are a different community of practice, may not understand or fully understand the words that these footballers use, but will understand their words such as allegro and plie. The words can be recognised by outgroups of the communities, but they won't be recognised and understood as fluently as the members of the in-group. Language that is accessible is far more easily recognised. This was talked about in a psycholinguistic presentation. In language and identities, language creates identity and is done through social communities. An in-group has members that can be self-categorised, and the members of the in-group all hold a similarity to each other. Anyone who does not fit in this group would be classed as an out-group member. In the in-group, they kind of use a language similar to a community of practice that would be unique to that in-group, and out-group members can hold attitudes towards the language because they may have a stigma that they do not fully understand. This can sometimes be negative and sometimes be positive, and this was touched upon in the attitudes to language presentation. The identities can often be created by the members of the in-groups, but the media can distribute and enhance these identities to the public. The media can often create an attitude as well that surrounds these groups, whether it's negative or positive, and these attitudes are usually accepted by the public. Because of this, these groups are understood in a way that reflects these attitudes. So if it is negative, the group would be looked at negatively in society. These interpretations of people may not be accurate, and therefore they don't enhance understanding of the world or of people, so we don't understand each other through them. So overall, we can look at the way that society can both help and distract people from understanding one another. As people can form social groups, they can become closer and understand one another by their language use, but external people to these groups may misunderstand, which prohibits true understanding of everyone, and maybe only to the people that you're in the community of practice with. The language used in the groups has to be analysed in context to get an understanding of the situation and its members. So the term sociolinguistics, as you probably can tell, branches over many subtopics such as language and identities, attitudes to language, language in society, language and media. If the social aspects are looked at, people can try and read a situation and look into possible explanations. So linguists at the minute are analysing many different interactions and trying to see what happens in them so they can be understood by everyone and not misinterpreted. The social aspects of language are just as crucial as the scientific elements. Sometimes they don't have as much recognition, but more so recently. By looking at both of them together, they can be used to understand the situations as a whole.